Welcome to an overview of the Snowman trek and Gangur Puensum. Day 1. Arrival. The flight to Peril on a clear day is one of the most spectacular of all mountain flights. One can see Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu and other peaks in Bhutan such as Chomohari, Jichu Drake and Serengang. The Kandoo team will meet you at the airport and transfer you to Thimphu, the capital city of Bhutan. The journey takes around 2 hours and leads through the Paro Valley to the confluence of the Paro and Thimphu rivers at Chuzum. If time permits, we will visit the King's Memorial Chorten, continuously circumambulated by people murmuring mantras and spinning their prayer wheels. Construction of this landmark was the idea of Bhutan's third king, His Majesty Jingmi Dorje Wangchuk, the father of modern Bhutan. Completed in 1974 after his untimely death, it serves both as a memorial to the late king and as a monument to peace. Later you will attend a pre-trek briefing with your lead guide to prepare you for the challenge ahead. We will spend the night at a hotel in Thimphu. Day 2. Cultural tour of Thimphu. Drive to Punakha. Today we will take a tour of Bhutan's capital city. We begin with a visit to the National Library, which holds a vast collection of ancient Buddhist texts and manuscripts, some dating back several hundred years, as well as modern academic books on Himalayan culture and religion. Next we will visit the nearby Institute for Zorig Chunsum, commonly known as the Arts and Crafts School. The Institute offers a 6-year course on the 13 traditional arts and crafts of Bhutan, and during the visit we will see students learning the various skills taught at the school. We then take a drive towards city centre to visit the Textile Museum and Folk Heritage Museum. These museums, both of which opened in 2001, provide fascinating insights into the Bhutanese material culture and way of life. Please note, both the National Library and the Institute for Zorig Chunsum are closed at weekends and government holidays, and the Textile Museum is closed on Sundays and government holidays. We finish our tour with a sightseeing visit to Changsha-Liar Zone, the fortress of the glorious religion. This impressive monastery and fortress has housed the seat of Bhutan's government since 1968. The throne room of His Majesty the King and various government offices. It is also the summer residence of the chief abbot and central monk body. Later in the afternoon we will drive to Punakha via the Dochula Pass at 3,088 metres, through magnificent forest of rhododendron and magnolia. From the pass there is a far-reaching view of the eastern Himalayan peaks and the Lunana trekking route. Day 3. Cultural tour of Punakha Dzong drive to Gasa. This morning we will take a guided tour of the Punakha Dzong, the second largest dzong in Bhutan. Built strategically at the confluence of the Po-Chu and Mo-Chu rivers in 1637 by the Shabdrung Ngawang Namgyal, it serves as the religious and administrative centre of the region. After lunch we will drive up the valley following the Mo-Chu river to the village of Gasa Chachu, famous for the curative powers of its hot springs. We will camp overnight here. Day 4. Gasa to Chamsa. This morning we start our trek climbing up through thick subtropical forest to the village of Chamsa. Day 5. Chamsa to Liar. The trail descends to the bank of the Mo-Chu river. After crossing the river we have lunch by the bridge. From here it is a gradual climb up to Liar, passing by an army camp en route to our overnight campsite. The Liar people are very friendly and will happily pose for photographs with you in their native dress. Day 6. Liar to Rodofu. From Liar we descend passing by the army camp once again and continuing to follow the river. After lunch we continue climbing upwards through rhododendrons until we reach a hanging valley where there are often yaks grazing. We will camp here by the river. Day 7. Acclimatization day at Rodofu. Today we will take a hike up to a higher altitude to help our acclimatization for our big push tomorrow over the mountain passes. We will also take time to rest and prepare ourselves for our ascent above 5,000 metres tomorrow. Day 8, Rodofu to Narathang. Today we climb up to Simola La Pass at 4,700 metres. After crossing the pass and summit, we will have superb views of Lunana and the peaks of Mount Chomohari and Mount Jichu Drake. We continue to ascend up to 4,900 metres to Narathang, where we will camp for the night. Tomorrow morning we will start our climb up to Ganglakarchung La Pass. At 5,100 metres, this will be the highest point of our trek so far. Day 9, Narathang to Tarina. We will walk over fairly level ground before starting the climb up to Ganglakarchung La Pass, 5,100 metres. The view from the trail is breathtaking. A panorama of mountain peaks rising over 7,000 metres, including Masagang and Sendagang. This is arguably one of Bhutan's most stunning mountain viewpoints, so make sure you have your camera at the ready. After crossing the pass, we start our long descent down to the Tarina Valley and much welcome lower altitudes. Day 10, Tarina to Woche. The path descends through coniferous forests following the upper reaches of the Po-Chu River. The trail then climbs over a ridge and drops to Woche at 3,800 metres, the first village of Lunana. Day 11, Woche to Ledi. Today's trek begins with a walk through juniper and fir forests and further ahead through rhododendron bushes. We climb up to the Keche La Pass at 4,480 metres and pause to enjoy the wonderful mountain views. After the pass, we descend to a river with stunning views of Table Mountain and other peaks en route. We walk upstream along this river, which is one of the main tributaries of the Po-Chu River, as far as Ledi village, where we camp overnight. Day 12, Ledi to Thanzap. The route continues to follow the river, rising gradually to Chojung village, the largest village in Lunana, where we stop for lunch. After lunch we visit the village temple before continuing on our trek until we meet the river again, which we cross by a suspension bridge. Soon we reach our campsite at Thanza, the second largest village in Lunana. Day 13, Acclimatization at Thanza. A welcome day of leisure for relaxing, reading, catching up with the washing, or just strolling around. If you're feeling really energetic, you can climb up to the ridge for yet another splendid view of the mountains. Day 14, Thanza to Chorim. Today our trek starts with a climb up to the ridge, from where there is a great view of Table Mountain and Thanza Valley below. We cross the ridge and enter a small valley with a stream running into it. We continue to follow the stream up the valley, enjoying the view of snow-capped mountains, and have lunch near a crossing point. We then climb up out of the valley, crossing some small ridges to reach our campsite at Chorim. Day 15, Chorim to Gankar Puensum Base Camp. Today's trek is one of the highlights of the trip. The day starts with a short climb up to the Chorim Lake. We walk around the side of the lake, enjoying the panoramic view of the Gufola ranges before climbing up to the final stretch, the Gufola Pass, 5,230 metres. After crossing the pass, we descend to the base camp, walking along the ridge and enjoying a great view of Gankar Puensum. Depending on how you are feeling, we can detour left and climb up a pyramid-shaped peak for a better view, or we can go directly to base camp, near the Sha-Chu River, where we will set up the camp. Day 16, Gankar Puensum Base Camp to Geshe Woma. The trek continues to follow the Sha-Chu River, descending gradually to Geshe Woma, where we camp for the night. Day 17, Geshe Woma to Warathang. The path continues along the course of the Sha-Chu River for 2.5 hours until we begin the stiff climb to Sakala. We stop for lunch near a yak herder's camp, then climb up to Sakala Pass, 4,800 metres. We can take in the stunning views on the descent to the lakes before another short ascent takes us to the Warathang La Pass, 4,590 metres. The scenery, once again, is stunning. We finally descend once more to our campsite at Warathang. Day 18, Warathang to Dorchakchu. A short half-hour climb takes us up to Ulila Pass at 4,400 metres. After crossing the pass, we descend to the riverside through dense rhododendron, juniper and conifer forests. We then cross a bridge and after a short climb reach the hot springs at Dur Chachu, where legend has it that the Guru Padsambhava bathed in the 18th century. Day 18, Dur Chachu to Chochenchin. From the spring there is a long and steady climb blessed with great views of the mountains of Lunana. First we cross the Gokthung La Pass at 4,650 metres, before descending to several beautiful deep blue lakes at 4,220 metres, with yaks grazing on the surrounding pastures and yak herders' camp. We then ascend the second pass, Jule La Pass, 4,700 metres, before our final descent to our camp at Chochenchin. Day 20, Chochenchin to Gorsum. We trek downhill from Chochenchin following the Yoleng-Chu River through thick forests of cypress, spruce, juniper, maple and hemlock. A short climb brings us to our campsite at Gorsum. Day 21, Gorsum to Dur. Drive to Boom Fang. This is the last day of the trek where we change from yaks to pack ponies. We have to set off early in order to reach Boom Fang before dark. The path follows the Changsha-Liar River, descending gradually with few climbs. The trek ends when we reach the village of Dur. From here, transport will pick us up and drive us to our lodge in Boom Fang. Day 22, Cultural Tour of Boom Fang. The Boom Fang Valley is the cultural heartland of the nation. The hills around the valley are filled with monasteries dedicated to the Guru Padsambhava. The valley is also the ancestral home of the great Buddhist teacher Pema Linga, from whose descendants the present monarchy traces its origin. We spend time exploring the valley, visiting Jakar Dzong, Kurji Lakang, Jambe Lakang and Tamshing Lakang before returning to our lodge for the night. Day 23, fly from Boom Fang to Peril. Today we fly from Boom Fang to Peril. We will have free time today to rest and relax at our hotel. Day 24, Cultural Tour to Tiger's Nest Monastery. In the morning we will take an excursion to Takchang Lakhang, commonly known as the Tiger's Nest Monastery. Undoubtedly one of the most famous of Bhutan's monasteries, the Takchang Monastery is one of the most breathtaking temples in the world. This Buddhist place of worship is perched on a cliff top at around 3,110 metres or 10,000 feet above sea level. The main temple complex was built in 1692 and is considered to be one of the holiest for the Bhutanese people. Legend has it that Guru Rinpoche, an 8th century Indian Buddhist master, arrived here on the back of a tigress and meditated at this monastery, thus the name Tiger's Nest. The site has been recognised as a sacred place and was visited by Shabdrang Ngawang Namgyal, who was a Tibetan Buddhist Lama and the unifier of Bhutan as a nation state, and is now visited by all Bhutanese at least once in their lifetime. On 19th of April 1998, a fire severely damaged the main structure of the building, but now this Bhutanese jewel has been restored to its original splendour. We start our climb up to the Tiger's Nest Monastery from the car park at 2,600 metres. From here, the monastery looks like a small white dot on the cliff. As we ascend through rhododendron forests, we will catch glimpses of the monastery. At the halfway point, we take a short rest break and are rewarded with awesome views of the Tiger's Nest coming closer into view. Another shorter steep climb and we reach the second viewpoint where the famous photographs of Takchang Kang were taken. We then descend down the stone steps to cross the narrow gorge before climbing up the other side to enter into the heart of the Tiger's Nest. After lunch we will visit the 7th century Kayuchi Lakhang, one of the 108 temples built in the Himalayas by Tibetan King Songtsen Gampo. The building of this temple marks the introduction of Buddhism in Bhutan. We will then drive to the Dupione Zone, a ruined fortress where Bhutanese warriors fought Tibetan invaders centuries ago. In the early 1950s, Dupione Zone was almost completely destroyed by fire. It is now listed in Bhutan's tentative list for UNESCO inclusion. In 2016, to celebrate the birth of His Royal Highness the Gyaltse, as well as to commemorate two other significant events, namely the arrival of Zabdrung Ngawang Namgyal to Bhutan in 1616 AD and the birth year of Guru Rinpoche, the Prime Minister Lyon Chen Shering Tobgay announced that the Zong will be rebuilt and reinstated to its former glory. The snowy dome of sacred Chomolhari, 7,326 metres, the bride of Kanchenjunga, can be seen in all her glory from the approach road to the Zong. After our tours, we will return to our hotel in Paro. Day 25, Departure. We will collect you from your hotel and drive you to Paro Airport for your departing flight to Kathmandu or Delhi.